we've looked at different frameworks and different approaches and different venues and different roles and different ways of evaluating and how to bring this holistic approach together that you can use in your church. What I want to do next, and this is kind of as for example, this is nothing you'd have to do, but all the stuff we're doing, we are making available to anybody who wants it. So just so you know, all the stuff that I'm talking about here is being done by Southside Bible Church. We're recording stuff, we're putting notes together, we're putting materials together. It will be completely available to you. But I'm just going to explain what we're doing, how we're thinking about it, and we're going to talk about the intermediate level courses and then some more of the advanced specialized courses and some of the ministerial related or pastoral courses. That's kind of what we want to do. So the first thing is what we refer to as our Entrust Bible Institute. Now, our Entrust Bible Institute is really sort of the academic components that go along with everything that we're doing. These are sort of the classwork type of stuff. And those materials are being recorded, they're being put out, and people can just watch them, or you can use them as somebody facilitate. Hey, everybody watch this, and let's have a facilitator. Or somebody else can watch it and say, okay, I'm going to take this and I'm going to present it. Or then you can check us and find out, ooh, these guys really need to work on stuff. You can be a teacher. But the materials themselves are pretty standard things that most schools or seminaries would teach. Again, we're not trying to be a seminary, but we talk about everything from the priority of Christ to principles of interpretation in their hermeneutics. We talk about homiletics, teaching, all the different areas of systematic theology, biblical theology, Old and New Testament survey, those kind of things, church history, historical theology, languages. That's a special type of thing. That's for guys who really, really want to get into it. And we're using some of Bill Mounce's material for that. Actually, very good stuff. And all of that, when it adds up, if you kind of took one class a week, and it's basically 38 weeks worth of material, it would take about 4 years if you did it in sequence. Now, if once it's recorded, you could have people who do it faster than that. But that's kind of what our goal is, about 4 years to get through that. That is just sort of the academic. When we do it with an interactive, we have a separate group of people that we refer to as the Entrust Leadership Academy. And these are the people who are really following along in this blueprint. The Institute is more, here's Bible classes. The Academy is now saying, okay, I want to interact with you. I want to go deeper with you. I want to get you more involved with this from a ministerial and a leadership and a teacher perspective. Those are the ones who we're going to be placing in the different roles that we've been talking about in this blueprint. And so they have some more specialized courses, and those are sort of the special advanced courses that we've talked about. And one of them is general counseling. We use some of the IBCD material. We also use some of the ACBC material that we work as sort of general counseling type of courses, and we found those to be excellent material. We also are working some of our guys through Spiritual Leadership by Oswald Sanders, and also The Conviction to Lead by Al Mohler. And so we're just looking at what does it really look like to be a leader. And so that's one special sort of small group. We read and interact with it. Then we have what we really refer to as more of our pastoral mentoring type of stuff. And that's not mentor and role mentor, but mentoring as in we're getting together and helping guys and we're passing on our experience. And these topics cover preaching, teaching, missions, cross-cultural, situational counseling, besides general but more specific situations. How would you help train guys? Leadership development. If you're going to become a pastor someday, you want to learn how to help your folks grow. Pastoral balance. A lot of people forget about that pastors are people too, and they need to learn what balance in life is. Some men are so ministerially minded they disqualify themselves because they don't take care of their families anymore. There's a balance in life that has to be there. Your congregation needs to understand it. You need to understand it. Worship and music. You know, what does a worship service may look like? How would it run? It's a lot more moving parts than you might think, or if you've ever done it, you know. Music, just an appreciation for what that means in a congregation. Talking about youth, talking about operations. You know, if you have a small church, your operations may be simple. If you've got a bigger church, operations can get really complicated. Administration, finance. You may know nothing about budgeting, but you better know you need to budget. So we need to talk with you about that, help you understand those kinds of things, as well as ministerial approaches. How might you attack a particular ministerial situation? Do you come in like a bull charging, or do you just tiptoe in and sort of observe? Maybe, what approach might you take in a particular situation? So again, all these aspects of what a minister might encounter. So these are much more of our one-on-one, our pastors talk with the young men and work together with those types of things. The final thing that we want to do is provide hands-on application. As I've been hinting through all of this blueprint, if you don't have a place to practice it, if you don't have a way to work it out, if you don't have the opportunity to do those things, you're not ever going to develop in. You might know all sorts about them, but you never have developed them. So facilitating, presenting, teaching, the venues on Sunday morning, your small groups, your community groups, whatever you call them, special studies, maybe in a men's breakfast. You say, okay, I'm going to help you, give you an opportunity in this men's breakfast. Youth events, maybe you say, hey, help you learn how to do this with youth and involve with your youth. Preaching. Preaching is one of the hardest skills to develop because you don't get to preach very often. One guy usually does most of the preaching. So maybe there's some opportunities, nursing homes, practice community groups. We're even considering creating one of our own community groups to say, okay, guys, come here and preach. And you in the community group come and listen. And then share and fellowship and work together. So that's a really cool thing to be able to do, because how often are you going to get to stand in a pulpit? Supply for other churches. Maybe you got some young men that you think have done pretty well, offer them to some of the local churches and say, hey, we've got some young guys who might be able to help fill your pulpit. Won't cost you a penny. Come on, let us help you. All sorts of opportunities. So we've now kind of covered the main waterfront of the main ideas. We've looked at the stair step of growth of information or knowledge. We've looked at the development of the skills from learner all the way up to mentor. And we looked at the character across the top of our stair step to ensure we have personal integrity, good quality in our interactions, and humility. Because without that humility, Christ humbled himself to the point of death on the cross, a hideous and harmful, horrible death, if you will. We need to understand those are the kinds of men we want. That character, that they are truly, truly humble men.